So we've all witnessed when a villain is so damn powerful and how much of a threat they are against the main characters in the story. But as soon as they join those main characters, they get nerfed. You just gotta love that type of shit. When you're beating my ass, you wanna be an absolute problem to deal with. But when you're a part of the squad, you wanna be sorry as fuck. Can't there just be some balance here, huh? I'll be honest, I haven't seen this in quite some time, but it's real interesting when I've seen it happen. Like when an ally goes over to the dark side or even has a moment of rebellion against the main character or the group. For instance, Usopp in One Piece when he had that fight with Luffy. That man Usopp was really outside fighting his bro, no holds barred, and in that fight, Usopp was looking pretty damn competent. He was looking like an absolute issue out there. But before that point, you could argue that Usopp was looking pretty damn sorry at times, even being the weakest link of the crew. Which I don't believe is fair, given how everyone has their own role to play, but let's put that to the side for now. Real ones know that Usopp isn't dead weight, but at the same time, this had me heated when I first watched it. You seriously want to put the beatdown on your homeboy when you've never put this kind of beatdown on the opposition at any point? Seriously, just look at this. Look at what Usopp is doing to Luffy, his homeboy. Why? Trust me, I get sometimes friends fight, and it's okay for them to duke it out and get it out of the system, but my god, this is just excessive. Hey man, I ain't gonna lie, if you one of the bros and you shooting bombs like this at me, spamming that hey man, I don't think we could be boys anymore, man. This is just nutty. This man Usopp was seriously spamming bullshit like he's never spammed before. I honestly don't care if all of this simply tickled Luffy and then he got up and walked away unscathed. The deal breaker for me is the fact that he's never acted like this with anyone else. Phony as hell. And I get working alongside someone long enough to know how to deal with them, like having contingencies on some Batman shit. But it will always look horrible when you fight your homeboys like this, especially when you've never once fought your enemies this hard. And the crazy part about all of this is like, bro, you had this within you this whole time. Just be on this type of timing when everyone needs you to lock in. But nah, you want to fight me like this instead. That's some hoe shit. I love you, but you was on some hoe shit, Usopp. You wanna know what this kinda reminds me of? It's like when you finally break up with your partner, and then your ex is trying extra hard to level up and improve in every damn way that you wanted them while they were in the relationship. And then they make sure that you see them trying to improve. Like why? Why you gotta be on that petty shit? And maybe this sounds toxic, but why? Couldn't you have just been like this when you were with me? Why? Now you want to switch up and level up on me. Okay, I see how it is. Phony as fuck. I can also recall when I was a kid watching Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Side note here, but is there a reason why Lightspeed Rescue isn't nearly brought up as much as the other Power Ranger shows? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend and act like I'm the biggest Power Ranger fan of all time, but I'm curious. Anyway, I'll never forget when the Titanium Ranger was outside terrorizing the Rangers. Solo. Ryan was out there looking like LeBron against the Toronto Raptors. They could not fuck with him. I also want to add that I understand why characters like Ryan get nerfed when they join a squad. Hell, they literally nerfed him for a bit with some cursed bullshit. But it's still tough and so dumb watching someone like him go from soloing the entire Ranger squad to struggling with monsters of the weak-ass villains. It's like the other Rangers stripped him of all of the sauce that he had and turned him into the rest of them, not allowed to stand out and outshine them. No bullshit, the Titanium Ranger was dope as hell, having his own Megazord, he wasn't a part of the Rainbow. He was there only to be treated like a damn side hoe. The show was like, yeah, you could be a main character, but you can't be the main character. The disrespect is insane. But hey man, I'm biased. Long live the Titanium Ranger. Moving on, I want to give a big shout out to one of the better MCU movies that's been released in quite some time.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I got Thunderbolts over the Fantastic Four movie. Fight me about it. Back to what I was saying though. I might be talking out of my ass right here, as my only knowledge of Sentry and Void before this movie was in a mobile game, which didn't really do much for me. But this is kinda what I think about when you unlock a main villain of a video game back in the day. In the story mode, they would be beating the shit out of you. Then you finally unlock them to play as them, and they aren't nearly as saucy as they were when they were beating the shit out of you. Or, you know what, maybe I was just straight ass. I haven't taken that into consideration. Anyway, I cannot wait for the next time that Sentry's in a movie and he gets placed between a rock and a hard place. I can't wait to see him lose his shit and then turn into the Void. Wait, is it the Void or Void? I don't fucking know. Why are the powers of darkness almost always more captivating? I'm not being too serious with this point right here, as I think that this is a nice drawback for an OP character to have, and I'm quite the sucker for a good drawback, but my point still stands. The second Sentry turns into the Void, he becomes more of a problem. How perfect. Let me take this off of Sentry for a moment, but imagine that your other dark half is just way stronger than you, but the current you just isn't cutting it in a situation right now. Tell me, how shitty would you feel that the other part of you is just way more competent than your regular self? That shit would be ass. At least in Sentry's case, he's really damn powerful, but his switch-ups entail that the entire world gets sent to the Shadow Realm. He's seriously a nuclear bomb just waiting to go off. I'm also not gonna lie, if I have to do this 2 or 3 times, giving you a pep talk so that Void could go away, yeah, I don't know, man. I might just let that shit rock. I feel like the only way a character joining the protagonist or the main squad works best, it's when it's a temporary truce, where by the end of their alliance, they can go back to do their own thing. This way, when they pop up, they can outshine everyone because it's a treat seeing them again. If they haven't been around for some time, there's no reason to nerf them. I'll come clean though. The only reason I can justify a villain getting nerfed is when they finally switch over to the other side for good. And that's typically because of the whole good guys can't murder rule. A villain's greatest strength is typically when they have no issue crossing the line. So with that removed, they naturally seem weakened because they aren't dropping bodies like we're accustomed to seeing. I kinda still wanna call those characters nothing but phony frauds, but that's the thing with villains, man. They have no lines to cross. If anything, it's the heroes that are nerfed. Like with Spider-Man. He pulls a lot of his punches, because if he didn't, he'd be punching holes through his problems. And then he wouldn't so much be our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.